Ever since I laid my hands on the 2D DOS Prince of Persia game on my dad's white computer, the generic white one, if you remember that, which I got for work, I knew video games were going to be my jam. 30 years later, it still is. Now, I've had the privilege of using my fair share of gaming PCs and consoles. Consoles all the way back from the Indian clones of Nintendo. Sega Genesis, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, Xbox 360, and when I started earning, I got a PS4 Pro, and now I'm at PS5. But I was a PC gamer predominantly, believe it or not. I was the proud member of PC Master Race. I preached PC gaming like a sick fanboy. It was like that meme, PCs are better than consoles, but is your PC better than console? Yeah, my PC was better than consoles. My PC could play Crysis, but lately, I'm preferring console gaming a lot more. Although I own a RTX 3050 laptop, I mostly use it for work and edit these YouTube videos, so you better drop a like. And I sometimes play Sakura on it. I had to mention that. So why the change? Why did I switch to consoles? Well, I have 5 very convincing reasons, and I'm pretty sure you will agree with at least 2 of them. Let's get into it. As a young man, I wanted to get into the action up close and personal. So I never had a problem with keyboard and mouse and sitting this close to the screen. But as I got older and the TVs got bigger, I wanted to enjoy my games and not just beat them. I wanted to kick back, grab some snacks, and play the games in all their glory on a big TV. Home consoles are built for that. That being said, wireless controllers are a godsend for someone like me. Can I connect my controller to the PC? Yeah. Can I connect my PC to the TV? Sure. But just look at me. Do you really think I would go through all that trouble? Really think? Really think? No? The answer is no. It's much easier and convenient to hook up a console to the TV and enjoy it. I'm sure many of you share this sentiment too. We will discuss more of that in the next chapter. I realized controllers are far more accessible than keyboard and mouse. They're surprisingly compact and comfortable for the most part.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting.
Having all of the buttons you need to play a game right there is something we take for granted. You will never have to lift your hand to access something. Unlike keyboard, where you have to press I for the inventory or press M for the map, you either have to let go of the movement or mouse to press that one button. You can remap it, sure, but remember, your right hand is already on the mouse, and as far as I can tell, your left hand only has 5 fingers. Of course, these changes on the controllers didn't happen overnight. What started with just a stick and a button now has evolved to this. I would now like to take the time to gush over how incredible the DualSense controller is for the PS5. So good! The haptic feedback and adaptive triggers feel like true next-gen. Games that take advantage of this tech feel so much more immersive and fun to play. You can't experience this on a keyboard and mouse setup.
Meanwhile,
or you can do that, but that looks very challenging to set up. Speaking of which, I would now like to demonstrate booting a game on a PC. Now I will demonstrate booting a game on a PS5. That's it. I can play now. Like I mentioned in the previous chapter, I was one of those guys who had heated arguments of how versatile a PC can be, aside from just playing games. Some might fancy their games modded, like putting CJ in God of War 2018 or putting Jill from RE3 in this outfit. Others might want to try their hand at developing games. But after working in IT industry for almost 8 years, I don't want to deal with that anymore. That is where the ease of use for home consoles come in. I just want to get home, start my console, pick a game and start playing. Is that too much to ask? It's less time consuming and gets the job done. We already discussed how relaxing playing on a controller can be. But these latest consoles have super fast SSDs that make loading a game a breeze. And most games don't even have loading in them at all. The Xbox Series X lets you switch between games on the fly. That shit is crazy. You might ask me, why would you want to switch between two games at the same time? Well, that's where me being a dad comes in. You see, my son only decides to play games when I boot the console. He will play the game for like 10 minutes and then run off. That's when I can start playing my game. But he will come back after some time, asking for his own game, which I can easily switch. He will play for a few more minutes and run away again. I can then just switch back to my game and continue exactly from where I left off. How insane is that? Do you even blame me for going full console at this point? Or you do? Don't worry, this next chapter will make you think twice. I can finally play Last of Us Part 1 on my PC after 10 years of wait. Screw the Sony exclusive nonsense. You get what I'm saying? When you build a monster of a PC by spending almost a fortune, it sucks to see it underperform in just a couple of years. I spent all of my savings on my first PC build and it was obsolete in just 3 years. I could barely run games at 60 FPS. Cut to PS4, that thing could play the latest releases like God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and even Resident Evil 4. This thing was released in 2013, mind you. How much did it cost? $399 or around 30,000 in India? That just blows my mind. Sure, PS4 and Xbox One, while being capable machines, could only run games mostly at 30 FPS, which is why we saw a mid-cycle revision with PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. But the new consoles PS5 and Xbox Series X are so incredibly capable and powerful that I would feel like a clown buying a PC worth $2,000 or around 2 lakh rupees in India. The SSD is super fast, games run at 60 to 120 FPS, and I never have to worry about specs of a game ever again. We are still in the early years of the console and we are already getting games that look like this. Games like Spider-Man Miles Morales and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart let you play at 60 FPS with ray tracing, and you even get VRR modes at 1440p. I would now like to take this moment to gush over Insomniac Studios and how godlike they have been with their latest releases. We got Spider-Man Miles Morales right at the launch of PS5, and around 6 months later we got Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Right now, they have 2 games in development that we know of, one of which, Spider-Man 2, is coming out this year. God bless Insomniac Studios. Just talked about how my PC build was starting to have problems within just 3 years. Back when I bought it, it was the best thing money could buy. All the games ran on it like it was nothing. Meanwhile, PS4 also did that, but for almost a decade. Good optimization can go a long way. And that is what you get with a home console and their fixed hardware across the world. This will never be possible for a PC because everyone and their mother has a different build. You would need drivers, constant patches for games, and all sort of things just to keep it running. It sounds cool and all, but this is real life and not Minecraft. Every new part you buy costs money. You can't just punch a tree and build something out of it. You are free to try it if you want. Doesn't work. A console life cycle is usually 10 years, which is way longer than 3 or 5 years for a PC. New GPUs are coming out every year and cost a fortune. Then there are compatibility issues that you have to worry about. Maybe the GPU performance is not optimal on this motherboard, or maybe you need more powerful PSU, among other things. If you ask me, with a home console, I can just invest in one piece of hardware and it stays with me for almost a decade. It plays all the games that will release for it pretty well 90% of the time. And the craziest part is, games get better as the console ages. A quick example. This is how Naughty Dog's Uncharted 1 looked when it launched for the PS3. And this is how it played. So janky. The last game on the console was The Last of Us. This is how it looked and this is how it played. Do you get what I'm saying? This can never happen on a PC. So why would I even bother upgrading my PC when all I'm doing is catching up with the tech required for the newer games? The cream of the crop. Exclusive titles. No matter how much of a die-hard fan you are of a PC, you are sure to regret not having a PS5 when games like God of War and Bloodborne are coming out on them. There, I mentioned Bloodborne. Can you leave me alone now, Cerberus? Why do you think Microsoft is fighting so hard to get Activision and the Blizzard deal closed? Why is everyone trying to stop it? Because Microsoft wants to control the properties owned by Activision like Call of Duty. Just goes to show that exclusives are king. I made a detailed video on this exact topic, which you can watch by clicking the I button somewhere here, or the link will be in the description. The audio quality is a little bad. I didn't have a proper mic. It was dark times for the channel. Anyways, to summarize, exclusive titles exist because the concept of consoles exist. These internal studios for Sony and Microsoft put their heart and soul to make the best possible game for the system by mastering it. If these games sell, that is when these consoles sell. So they have a lot riding on them. One does it better than the other. Sorry. And is one of the major reasons why I prefer one over the other. Sony. If I would have missed playing God of War Ragnarok even after owning a $2,000 worth of PC, I would never be able to forgive myself. Or worse, miss playing Spider-Man 2. The horror. Like I said in this video, games like Halo for Xbox defined how we play FPS games today. How Battle Royale games have two equipable weapons to balance the game, and so much more. How without Sony's trust in Santa Monica Studio, we would have never got God of War 2018, one of the greatest games of this generation. A studio like EA or Ubisoft would have iced the franchise the moment it did not make enough money for them. And they did that with generation-defining games like Prince of Persia and Dead Space. So hear me out. Do you want a great gaming experience? Do you want to kick back and relax when you play your games? Don't you want the setup to be easy and not worry about spending a fortune on a PC or worry about upgrading it in a few years? And most importantly, don't you want to experience the best games the industry has to offer? Buy a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X with a Game Pass along with a big ass 4K TV. You're sorted for a decade. Thank me later. Or you can thank me now by dropping a like on this video and subscribing to my channel. These are all my personal takes as a father who loves playing video games, so your time and mileage may vary. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I would love to know what your preferences are in gaming and what system you prefer over the other, or you just use all of them. Rich bastard. At the end of the day, it comes down to playing games. No matter what system you choose. Except for mobile, don't play PUBG please. Thank you for all my channel members for supporting. I love you guys and I'll see all of you in my next video.